Hi everyone, Colleen Patrick-Goudreau here. You know, a lot of people ask, how can you be an animal activist when there's so many people suffering in the world? And my answer is, I'm an animal activist because there's so much suffering in the world. The problems we have in this world aren't because we have so much compassion, we don't know what to do with it. The problems we have in this world are because people aren't living according to their own values of compassion and kindness. The problem isn't people who are doing something to make this a more compassionate world. The problem are people who are sitting there saying, what are you doing this for and not doing this over here? And usually those people aren't doing anything at all. The dichotomy between human issues and animal issues is a false one, especially when you look at the history of people who were involved in all social justice movements across the ages, both in the UK and in the US. These people were all working on behalf of justice for animals and for human animals, non-human animals and human animals. They were involved in the suffrage movement. They were involved in the abolition of slavery. They were involved in education for children, and they were involved in anti-cruelty towards animals. For instance, in England, William Wilberforce was a member of Parliament, and he was the first member to put forth a bill to abolish the slave trade, and he did this year after year after year. He was involved in prison reform, educational reform, and he, with a number of other members of Parliament in England, was the co-founder of the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which was the predecessor to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. In the US, also in the 1800s, Henry Bergh founded the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, and from that he founded the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Also around the same time was Carolyn Earl White. She fought for suffrage and for the abolition of slavery. She founded the Philadelphia SPCA, which became the American Anti-Vivisection Society, which is still thriving today. So I just don't agree that working on behalf of animal issues hinders humanitarian issues. If anything, it makes it stronger, because injustice for one means injustice for all, and justice for one means justice for all. My heart is large enough to care about all of these things at the same time, and I think to think otherwise really hinders us from being the best people we can be. So I encourage people to get involved in all issues they care about. The problem isn't people who are doing something. The problem is people who aren't doing anything. So find resources at my website at ColleenPatrickGoudreau.com.